moment, a massive storm system is organizing over the Pacific Southwest and taking aim at more than 30 states over the next 5 days. From West Texas to the Northeast coast, tens of millions of Americans are in the direct path of severe thunderstorms, flash flooding, and a snowfall forecast so unpredictable that weather models have done a complete 180 in just 12 hours. Meanwhile, California is bracing for what AccuWeather is calling a potentially historic series of storms that could dump an entire month of rain and snow in a single week. 7 to 8 feet of snow in the Sierra Nevada alone over the next 10 days. In the next few minutes, I am going to give you the exact timing for when this Valentine Day system arrives in your city. Not general information, exact times. When the storms fire, when the heaviest rain hits, when the flooding risk peaks, and which areas face the biggest question marks for snow. Nobody else is giving you this hour-by-hour breakdown. But first, you need to understand why this storm is so tricky and why even the best computer models in the world cannot agree on what happens when it reaches the East Coast. The Northeast is the biggest wild card in this entire system, and here is what nobody else is telling you. Last night, the European model, considered the gold standard in weather forecasting, produced a full-blown blizzard for the region. A foot of snow from the Poconos in southeastern Pennsylvania through New Jersey, Long Island, New York City, all the way up to Boston and Hartford. 12 hours later, the same model did a complete reversal, barely any snow at all. The latest American GFS model agrees with the suppressed, weaker solution. But do not be fooled. That does not mean the threat is over. It means the atmosphere has not decided yet. The difference comes down to latitude. If this low-pressure system tracks just 50 to 75 miles further north as it races off the coast, blizzard conditions return to the table. If it stays suppressed to the south, the Northeast gets rain and wind and not much else. By Monday morning, models show this system deepening to 980 millibars off the shore of Cape Cod. That is a powerful storm regardless of the snow outcome. Now here is an important weather term to understand. When meteorologists say a system is deepening, they mean the central pressure is dropping rapidly. A term you might hear is bombogenesis, which means the pressure drops at least 24 millibars in 24 hours. The lower the pressure, the stronger the winds and the more intense the storm. If you are anywhere from Philadelphia to Portland, Maine, keep your phone charged, have flashlights ready. Power outages from wind alone are a real possibility Monday into Tuesday, regardless of whether snow materializes. What is developing further south, however, could affect even more people. The forecast for the central and south-central regions demands attention. If you are watching from anywhere between West Texas and Arkansas, this is the section you need to hear. Severe thunderstorms will fire Friday afternoon across West Texas. Here is your timeline. Friday morning, things are quiet as you head to work or school. By noon, showers begin overspreading southern New Mexico and western Texas around the Lubbock area and Midland south of Amarillo. By late afternoon, those storms turn severe. Supercells are possible with 60-mile-per-hour winds, quarter-size hail, and a brief tornado cannot be ruled out. Dew points will surge into the mid-50s and in some pockets near 60 degrees by Friday evening. That gives us around 1,000 joules per kilogram of energy, which is significant for mid-February. Now, a quick way to understand what dew point means for you. The dew point tells you how much moisture is in the air. When the dew point climbs into the 50s and 60s in winter, it means the atmosphere is loaded with fuel for thunderstorms. Higher dew points mean more intense rain, stronger storms, and a greater flash flooding risk. If you hear dew points rising, that is your signal to take the storm threat seriously and stay alert. By Friday night, a squall line sweeps from Amarillo down through Midland and takes a run at Wichita Falls overnight. These storms are slow movers. Dallas-Fort Worth, listen carefully. The line reaches your area, especially west of Fort Worth, around daybreak Saturday, Valentine Day morning. Saturday rainfall spreads into Oklahoma, Kansas, and western Missouri. Several inches of rain are expected across the Texas Panhandle, West Texas, and into Oklahoma. The area west of Oklahoma City, including Elk City, Lawton, Fort Sill, and Woodward, could see heavy rain falling in a short time. Flash flooding is a real concern. Hey, if you are watching right now, drop your city and state in the comments. I will give you the specific forecast for your area. Hundreds of viewers are already doing this and getting the information they need. Do not wait. Type your location now. But the severe weather and flooding is only one part of this system. What is happening across the Deep South and Tennessee is equally critical. Mississippi, you are next in line. According to Sharonda Waddell, meteorologist with the National Weather Service in Jackson, a frontal boundary is moving in this weekend, bringing heavy rainfall potentially totaling 2 to 3 inches across the region. Rain begins Thursday afternoon in the northern portions of Mississippi and spreads statewide by Saturday. Oxford and Starkville see rain and possible thunderstorms Friday night. In the Delta, Greenwood and Greenville follow a similar pattern. Jackson gets showers Friday night with heavier rain Saturday night. Hattiesburg sees showers moving in on Valentine's Day with heavier rain that night. If you plan to grill out on Valentine's Day, make alternative arrangements. This rain arrives on the heels of a recent ice storm that already disrupted the region. Mississippi State baseball's opening weekend against Hofstra at Duty Noble Field is in jeopardy. Friday the 13th looks clear with a high of 66 degrees and just a 3% chance of rain. But Saturday, Valentine's Day, carries a 68% chance of rain for the 1 p.m. game. Sunday has a 25% chance. Softball at Noose Park from February 13th through the 15th is also threatened. Over in Tennessee, the impacts are compounding. Frost and freezing weather return for the next 2 nights across Middle Tennessee. February has been running 2 degrees below average so far. But here is the shift. After this brief cold snap passes, the pattern flips warmer than average for the next couple of weeks. Spring-like warmth is coming to Middle Tennessee. However, in East Tennessee, the damage from this winter is already done for schools. Scott County has burned through 12 of its 13 allocated snow days. Claiborne County has exceeded its budget entirely, using 14 snow days when only 13 were planned. The professional educators of Tennessee is now requesting the state delay standardized testing so teachers can make up lost instruction time before TCAP testing begins in April. 9 weeks of material crammed into 7 weeks. That is the reality facing educators right now. The question is whether officials will act in time. But the forecast that demands the most attention is still ahead. This is the forecast that demands the most attention. California and the broader West are facing what forecasters are calling a potentially historic and unprecedented series of storms beginning this weekend and lasting through the 3rd week of February. This is not hype. This is not exaggeration. AccuWeather's chief on-air meteorologist Bernie Rayno said it plainly. It is possible the series of storms next week in California delivers close to an entire month's worth of rain and snow. Here is how it unfolds. Right now, a storm over the Gulf of Alaska is dropping southward toward the northwest coast. Over the weekend, it pivots eastward, bringing rain to the coasts of Washington and Oregon. By Sunday or Sunday night, drenching rain spins into coastal northern and central California. From there, low-elevation rain and mountain snow expand southward and eastward. Multiple rounds of precipitation are likely as the storm hovers along the California coast during the first half of next week before shifting inland. Here's an important term to know. When forecasters talk about precipitable water values at 200 to 300% of normal, they are describing how much moisture is available in the atmosphere above you. Think of it like a sponge. Normal conditions are a damp sponge. 300% of normal means that sponge is completely saturated and ready to wring out. That translates directly to extreme rainfall and the potential for flash flooding and mudslides. Then another storm may follow later next week, potentially focusing on Washington and Oregon. The Sierra Nevada could see 7 to 8 feet of snow in the next 10 days. AccuWeather senior meteorologist Brett Anderson warned that before this week, the water-locked-in existing snow cover was near a record minimum in Colorado and Utah. That zone is a major part of the Colorado River Basin. Limited spring runoff could be a major problem for summer water supply on the river and in man-made lakes. These storms are desperately needed, but too much, too fast creates its own dangers. Donner Pass along Interstate 80 will see heavy snow. Flash flooding, poor visibility, and mudslides threaten commuters, cross-country shippers, and airline passengers. For those who have never driven through a Sierra blizzard, here is what to expect. Visibility drops to 0 in seconds. Snow blows horizontal across the highway. Chains are required, and you are still crawling. If you are anywhere in the West and this matters to you, comment your location below. I am reading every single comment and responding with specific information for your area. Hundreds of people have already done this. Do not wait. For millions across California, Oregon, and the interior West, the next 10 days will test infrastructure, challenge travel, and in some areas provide water that drought-stricken communities desperately need. The question is whether the relief comes as a manageable blessing or a dangerous deluge. Looking ahead, the pattern through late February tells 2 very different stories depending on where you live. From February 16th through the 23rd, a persistent trough remains anchored over the West. That means continued mountain snow from the Cascades to the Rockies, from Idaho to Arizona. Cold air stays locked in western Canada and the western United States. East of the Rockies, it is a different world. Warm air dominates, 50s, 60s, and 70s across the plains, the Midwest, and the East. The clash between warm and cold sets up repeated storm systems. Heavy rain and severe weather threats continue across the Deep South and Southeast. But here's what nobody else is telling you yet. As we push into the last week of February, the 23rd through March 1st, the core of the Arctic air drops further south toward the southwest Canadian prairies, British Columbia, Alberta, Saskatchewan, and Manitoba. Cold snaps push further south into the northern tier of the United States. The Dakotas, upper Midwest, and Northeast could see winter storm threats as that colder air creeps closer, and the severe weather threat is not easing. Long-range models suggest an even stronger system could develop between February 23rd and March 1st, targeting Dixie Alley across much of the southeast and extending into the lower mid-Atlantic, including Virginia, Kentucky, and West Virginia. I will have a full forecast video early next week breaking down what develops. Make sure you do not miss it. The next 2 weeks could be among the most active we have seen this winter season. With these forecasts in mind, here is what you need to do. This is not just about one storm. We are looking at severe thunderstorms across the southern plains Friday into Saturday, flash flooding from Texas to Arkansas to the Tennessee Valley, and a historic multi-storm siege across California and the West, all happening simultaneously. 3 major weather threats converging in the same 5-day window. If you are in West Texas, Oklahoma, or Arkansas, Friday into Saturday is your critical window. Charge your devices. Have a way to receive weather alerts overnight. Know where your safe room is. Flash flooding kills more people than any other severe weather event in the United States. If you are in Mississippi, bring Valentine to stay indoors. 2 to 3 inches of rain on top of recent ice storm damage means saturated ground and the potential for localized flooding. If you are on the Oregon coast, the National Weather Service has issued a sneaker wave warning from Friday through Sunday evening for beaches in Clatsop and Tillamook counties and the southwest Washington coast. Sneaker waves have killed 9 people on the Oregon coast in the last 16 years. Stay well back from the surf. Keep children and pets away from the water. Never go after someone swept out. Call 911 and keep eyes on them until help arrives. If you are in California, prepare now, not tomorrow. Now. Stock up on essentials before the rain arrives. Have a plan for alternate routes if your commute crosses flood-prone areas or mountain passes. Beyond the immediate forecast, there are developments worth monitoring. That Oregon sneaker wave warning is active through Sunday evening. These waves can surge up to 150 feet from the water's edge without warning, knocking people off their feet and pulling them into frigid seas. The most recent fatality occurred last October near Siletz Bay, south of Lincoln City. This is not a theoretical risk. Meanwhile, the snow situation out west has broader implications. Colorado and Utah entered this storm cycle with snow water equivalent near record minimums. If the storms deliver as models suggest, it could meaningfully improve summer water outlook for the Colorado River Basin. If they underperform, summer water concerns escalate significantly. The stakes extend well beyond the next 10 days. We will continue tracking all of these developments closely. Let us recap. The Northeast faces a wildcard storm Monday into Tuesday. Blizzard or bust depending on the track, but strong winds and potential power outages are likely either way. West Texas through Arkansas, severe storms Friday afternoon through Saturday with flash flooding. Mississippi, 2 to 3 inches of rain starting Friday and lasting through the weekend. Tennessee, cold snap ending soon, but schools still reeling from 12 to 14 snow days lost this winter. California and the West, a potentially historic storm series delivering close to a month of rain and snow in 1 week. 7 to 8 feet of snow possible in the Sierra Nevada. Oregon coast, deadly sneaker wave warning through Sunday. I will be tracking every one of these systems closely. If you want updates specific to your area, drop your location in the comments right now. Hundreds of viewers are already doing this and getting the information they need. Share this video with anyone you know in the affected areas. They need to see this. This is not hype. This is not exaggeration. I hope these storms underperform. I hope the flooding stays minimal and the severe weather stays weak. But I do not think that is what we are going to see. You have the information. You have the timeline. What you do with it is up to you. Here is the important part. Weather does not wait for us to be ready. The communities that prepare now, tonight, before these systems arrive, are the ones that come through the other side in the best shape. Are you prepared for what is coming? Tell me in the comments.